Assalamu alaikum. This is Sazid Hossain. This is our group project proposal report on advanced home security and monitoring system. I'm going to do the introduction part. The issue of home safety has risen to prominence in recent years. With the rapid development of technology comes an home-based security system that use various cutting-edge technologies to ensure the safety of the household. A modest home security system can provide a peace of mind in case of an emergency by authenticating users, detecting intruders, and sending out widespread notifications. We have developed an easy to use and inexpensive advanced home security system. With the help of this project, we'll be able to make our home safer from intruders and fires. In this project, we will use a Raspberry Pi 4 as well as a PIR sensor module, a smoke sensor module, a fingerprint sensor module, and a few more other components. As for the software, we will use OpenCV to check the person's face. For this, we have installed a camera module onto a Raspberry Pi so that we can keep an eye on the house and identify who is coming and going. The Raspberry Pi 4 is a single board computer compatible with a broad variety of sensors and general purposes input-output devices. Says when the camera detects motion in the home that is out of the ordinary, a Bluetooth serial number in a mobile device relays the data from a PIR motion sensor. A fingerprint reader can confirm a person's identity as a resident of the home. In the event of a fire or other emergency, the smoke detector will alert us over Bluetooth regardless of whether or not there have been any security breaches. This system's many strengths lie in its flexibility and ease of implementation.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Ashfia Khanam. My ID is 18301231. I will explain shortly about our used components. Firstly, we used a Raspberry Pi 4. The Raspberry Pi is a small, cheap single board computer about the size of a credit card. It can be used as the brain of a robotic device. Next, we used a fingerprint sensor. Fingerprint sensors are used for authentication and data protection in smartphones, smart industries, and smart home apps. It detects fingerprint by measuring distances of fingerprints ridges. After that, we used a PIR motion sensor. PIR sensors detect motion using heat signatures from a living objects. When a warm body leaves the sensor's region, the difference changes negatively. Hence, it detects motion. Furthermore, we used a smoke sensor. When smoke enters the sensor's body through the holes at the bottom, it makes the fiber of the sensor contact with each other, hence it triggers the buzzer. Lastly, from software side, we used OpenCV. OpenCV is a cross-platform computer version library. It focused on real-time applications, video and image processing. For that, we used Raspberry Pi camera module. Additionally, we used LCD and mobile phones for output. Also, we used jumper wires and breadboards for connecting all the components. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I will be showing you the connectivity part. So first of all, we connect the fingerprint sensor. So first we connect the Raspberry Pi's 3.3 volt pin with the red wire of fingerprint sensor, and then we connect the white wire, which is the TX port in the GPIO 14 pin, the yellow wire, which is the RX port, to the GPIO 15 pin. Lastly, we connect the black wire, which will go to Raspberry Pi's ground pin. Next we have the PIR sensor. So the red wire connects to the 5 volt power pin, the green wire goes to the GPIO 29 pin, the black wire will go to the ground. Then we have the smoke sensor with buzzer. So the red wire of the smoke sensor is going to the 5 volt of Raspberry Pi pin, the black wire goes to the ground pin, and pin 26 receive the analog signal from the smoke sensor. Then we have the LCD driver. So in the LCD driver we use 16 into 2 LCD driver. So firstly the LCD driver's VSS pin will go to Raspberry Pi's ground pin, Then VDD pin will go to 5 volt. V0 pin will go with the middle pin of 4.7K potentiometer. Then the RS pin will go to GPIO 27. The read write pin will go to the ground. The E pin will go to GPIO 19. The D4 pin will go to GPIO 13. The D5 pin will go to GPIO 6. The D6 pin will go to GPIO 5. The D7 port will go to GPIO 21. A port will go to 5 volt through 330 ohms resistor. The K port will go to the ground. Then we have the Raspberry Pi camera, which is simply connected to the Raspberry Pi's camera interfacing port. Now here is the diagram visualization which will help you to understand our project better. So we can see that the fingerprint sends the data to Raspberry Pi, and Raspberry Pi shows the output on LCD screen, which shows the verification of fingerprint sensor. Then we can see the smoke sensor and PIR sensor sends the data to Raspberry Pi, and Raspberry Pi processes that data and sends to our mobile phone via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Lastly, we can see the camera is sending its data to Raspberry Pi, and Raspberry Pi processing the data with OpenCV software, and OpenCV software recognizes the faces and puts it as tags. This is how the face verification works. Thank you.
This is Moumita. I am here to present the result and conclusion. The result of our project was created. Device was providing around the clock service at the door handle. We used user face and fingerprint to authenticate, and user will get notification through push notification system when the mentioned authentication doesn't work. We also added smoke detector as an add-on safety measures that will notify all of the users. Additionally, an anti-theft mode can be activated by the user that will use PIR sensor and camera mode precisely. Here are results that we have gathered so far. This is the conclusion part. The goal of our project was to make a reliable house security system using multiple sensors such as Raspberry Pi 4, smoke sensor, fingerprint sensor, PIR sensor. Nowadays, nothing is secure permanently. There's everything security issues, and they are ever evolving. Therefore, we always have to be one step ahead of any security attacks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Moumita, for giving me the flow. For the improvement part, since we use PIR, motion sensor, fingerprint sensor, smoke sensor and camera, there are some limitations for using these equipments here. PIR sensors are 92% effective, although they become less effective when monitoring locations where people have been standing or sitting for a long time. It is also covers less ground, and also it cannot function above 35 degrees Celsius and cannot cover the corner areas. PIR sensors are less sensitive if the room is already heated, so it doesn't actually work in summer season. With a camera module, we can prevent burglars from tricking PIR sensors. However, the camera module has still some restrictions. The facial recognition's effectiveness of the algorithm is influenced by image quality. If the image quality is poor, the algorithm will struggle to identify the face. Different face angles will also ruin the facial recognition predictability. Fingerprint sensors are sensitive. If anyhow the person's fingerprints are damaged, the system may not be able to recognize the person as an owner of the house. Fingerprint sensor systems have high error rates in extreme cold or heat. Since we are using facial recognition and scanned fingerprints for the authentication, they need to give correct results here. So we can use paid face recognition APIs, implementing iris scanner for more secure and accurate verification, high resolution camera for better video encoding and less space in hard disk, accessing database from cloud, paid web domain is also needed. Microwave sensor for better motion detection, which is expensive.